Hello and welcome, dear students. Hope you all are doing good, fine, fantastic at home. Today we are back with another session in our English online lecture series. So आज हम कुछ टेक्स्ट बुक में से करने वाले हैं. टेक्स्ट बुक में से today we are going to begin with the poetry section. And the poem that I'm going to do today is 2.2, The Sower. Now this particular poem is a translated poem. ट्रांसलेटेड मतलब ओरिजिनली ये इंग्लिश भाषा में नहीं लिखी हुई थी. इट वॉज ओरिजिनली रिटन इन फ्रेंच, बट देन इट वॉज ट्रांसलेटेड ब्यूटिफुली by an Indian poet, Toru Dutt. So let us find out more. Now, as you can see on the screen, Toru Dutt or Torulata Dutt, alright, she was an Indian poetess. So the first point says this poem was originally written by Victor Hugo, a French poet, novelist and a dramatist. तो फ्रेंच कवि ने ये कविता लिखी हुई थी और उनकी भाषा में फ्रेंच में. Later on, it was translated by Torulata Dutt or Toru Dutt as she was known. She was the first Indian poetess to write in English and French. Students, let me tell you, this poetess belonged not to the recent times, but she was a poetess before independence. उनका जन्म करीबन 1860s में हुआ था. So you can imagine during her time being educated, a woman who was educated, ये बहुत बड़ी बात थी. ओके. एंड उसमें से भी एक ऐसी औरत जिसको शी न्यू इंग्लिश एज वेल एज फ्रेंच वॉज समथिंग वेरी डिफरेंट इन दोज डेज. उस समय के लिए ये बहुत ही अलग अनोखी बात थी. बट देन शी वॉज स्पेशल. शी वॉज अ पोएट हु हैज रिटन न्यूमरस पोएम्स इन इंग्लिश एज वेल. बट ये कविता उनकी अपनी नहीं है. शी हैज जस्ट डन द ट्रांसलेटेड वर्क. But the translation work is absolutely marvelous, beautiful. Now, this poem is translated, as I told you, from French to English. It is about a hardworking farmer. जैसे नाम poem का नाम क्या है? The sower. Sower is a person who sows the seed. जो बीज बोता है. और बीज बोने वाला कौन है? हमारा मेहनती किसान. So the poem is about a hardworking farmer who is sowing seeds. So sower is a person, a farmer. Alright. So ये किसान के बारे में है. एक किसान से रिलेटेड कविता है. उनके बारे में एक कविता है. इसके लिए शायद तोरू दत्त ने शायद ये पोएम ट्रांसलेट की थी. बिकॉज इंडिया इज सपोज टू बी अ लैंड ऑफ विलेजेस. एंड इन इंडिया द बेसिक ऑक्यूपेशन जो विलेजेस में फॉलो किया जाता है और वो है फार्मिंग. एंड प्रोबेबली दैट इज व्हाई तोरुलता दत्त टुक अप दिस पोएम टू फॉर ट्रांसलेशन. द फार्मर हैज सीन मेनी बैड हार्वेस्ट. बहुत मेहनत, बहुत कष्ट देखे हैं उन्होंने, बहुत उतार चढ़ाव देखे हैं. बहुत बार ऐसा हुआ है कि उन्होंने बीज बोया है पर फसल नहीं हुई है, खराब फसल आई है, उनकी सारी मेहनत पर पानी फिर गया है. बट वो रुकते नहीं हैं, वो थकते नहीं हैं. चाहे कुछ भी हो जाए, उन्होंने ही इज नॉट रेडी टू गिव अप. एंड दैट इज द बेस्ट थिंग अबाउट द फार्मर दैट we can we can learn. Okay, the message that we can learn कि चाहे कुछ भी हो जाए, we are not supposed to give up. Now the poem reflects the poet's observation about the sower or the farmer. ये कविता किसके बारे में है? What is it about? इस कवि ने क्या देखा है? इस फार्मर के बारे में, इस किसान के बारे में क्या देखा है, उन्होंने क्या सीखा है, क्या महसूस किया है, वो सब कुछ उन्होंने इस कविता में लिखा है. कविता में ही एक्सप्रेस्ड हिज फीलिंग्स about this hard working farmer in the poem. The poet is prompted to call him an august personality. ऑगस्ट पर्सनालिटी मतलब ऐसा नहीं है कि उनका बर्थडे अगस्त में है, बट ये एक नाम दिया जाता है उस व्यक्ति को जिसने एक he has achieved lot of success. Okay, it's given there, which means one who has reached highest position in workplace. उन्होंने अपने फील्ड में मेहनत करके एक एक ऐसा मुकाम, सबसे ऊंचा मुकाम हासिल किया है, उसको कहते हैं ऑगस्ट पर्सनालिटी. राइट. द सोवर इज सो ओल्ड. ये किसान जो है ये यंग नहीं है, ही इज एन ओल्ड पर्सन. And perhaps he might not even live to see his harvest, yet continues with his efforts to benefit others. Obviously, किसान इतनी मेहनत करके जो कुछ करता है वो अपने लिए नहीं रखता है, अपने लिए सिर्फ एक उसमें से एक छोटा सा हिस्सा रखता है, बाकी वो बाजार में जाकर बेच देता है, सो दैट एवरीबडी गेट्स अ मील, बाकी सबको भी खाना मिल सके. सोचो, we are how much we owe the farmers of our country. All right, had if the farmers decide to give up farming, I don't know what we will eat. अगर कभी कल कहीं किसान ने कहा कि चलो आज से मैं किसान खेती नहीं करूंगा, पता नहीं हमारा क्या होगा. And hence students, it is high time that we respect the farmers a lot. जितना भी हम करें उनके लिए वो कम ही है. नो मैटर हाउ मच एवर वी डू, इट इज रियली लेस फॉर द फार्मर. The poem is also about the struggle of a farmer, his firm determination in doing whatever he can, even when all others go away. इसका मतलब क्या है कि चाहे बाकी सब करे या ना करे अपना अपना काम, किसान जो है वो अपना काम, अपनी खेती, अपने खेत कभी नहीं छोड़ सकता. ओके, ही नेवर डज गिव अप, ही नेवर गिव्स इट अप. ऑलराइट, ही इज वेरी डिटरमाइंड कि चाहे चलो ये बार फसल खराब हुई है, अगली बार ओके खराब फसल नहीं होगी, अगली बार मेरी फसल, मेरे खेत लहराते होंगे. ओके, मेरी फसल जो है वो अच्छी होगी. इसी उम्मीद पे इसी उम्मीद पे वो किसान जो है वो काम कर रहा है, वो डटा हुआ है, वो रुका हुआ है उस खेत में. ओके, ही जस्ट डज नॉट गिव अप. Now the poem has around 20 lines. They have been divided into 5 stanzas having 4 lines each. 5 stanzas, 4 lines. And the most important is rhyme scheme of the poem is AB AB. इसका मतलब the first line is rhyming with the third line and the second line is rhyming with the fourth line. कुछ कविताएं होती हैं जहाँ पे intentionally the poet is not or does not worry about the rhyme. All right, that's just उसे कहते हैं free verse. Okay, it has got no rhyme scheme at all. But then this poem, The Sower, is very important because the poet has intentionally seen to it कि इसमें rhyme scheme आए. The words should end with a rhyme. So students, ये French में लिखा हुआ था. But Toru Dutt also has, as I told you, has done a fantastic job of translating the poem in such a way that every line is perfect, every word rhymes with the other word. Okay, the first line rhymes with the third line, the second line rhymes with the fourth line. The Soul by Toru Dutt. I have just tried to put in some beautiful pictures because, as I told you, we owe a lot to the farmers of our country. All right, you will find them wherever you've seen on the television, in the newspapers, wherever जहाँ भी हम उनका चेहरा देखते हैं, उनका फोटो देखते हैं, we always find that they are, wearing uh, kind of torn clothes, busy in their work, shedding drops of sweat, पसीने से लथपथ. ठीक है, so shall we begin with the actual poem? Let's start. Now this is the first stanza. Stanza 1, line 1 to 4. Sitting in a porchway cool, sunlight I see, dying fast. Twilight hastens on to rule. Working hours have well nigh passed. Four lines. You can see that the first line is rhyming with the third line, and the second line is rhyming with the fourth line. So here the poet is giving first hand डिस्क्रिप्शन उन्होंने खुद ने जो देखा है वो डिस्क्राइब कर रहे हैं एंड हेंस द प्रोनाउन आई इज यूज्ड ओवर देयर द प्रोनाउन आई इज यूज्ड देयर द पोएट सेज दैट वन डे he sits on the porchway porchway is घर के बाहर का आंगन घर के बाहर जो ओपन स्पेस होता है वरांडा जिसे हम कहते हैं वहां वो बैठे हुए ही सिटिंग देयर टू एंजॉय द सनसेट then, what does he find? He finds that the sun is all ready to set. The day is over. Alright, the red sunlight is just fading. It's dying very fast. सूरज जो है जितनी तेजी से ऊपर आया था उसी तेजी से वो नीचे भी जा रहा है As the evening approaches, शाम हो रही है the twilight, okay, the evening begins to rule. That is, it is dominating the light. Bright sunshine जो है it's coming to an end, and the color of the sky is changing. Okay, the color of the sky is changing. In other words, it's the darkness that's spreading everywhere. All right, and that too at a very great speed. एट सच अ टाइम ये ऐसा मौसम है जब पंछी जो है वो अपने घर जा रहे हैं उड़ के सारे जो काम करने वाले लोग हैं वो वापस थके हारे अपने घर की तरफ आ रहे हैं एक ऐसा मौसम है कि जब हमें पता है कि चलो जितना करना था जो कुछ करना था वो आज के दिन हम कर चुके हैं वी हैव ऑलमोस्ट डन विथ ऑल आवर वर्क और अब एक ऐसा समय है कि बस हमें घर आकर आराम करना है दो सुकून के पल जीने हैं खाना खाना है एंड वी हैव टू रेस्ट but at such time when there is no light, okay, as I said, people have stopped their work everywhere, whether it is the farm or everywhere outside. They're ready to go back to their home. Okay, of course, students, ये आज मौसम अलग है. Today it's like the environment is different. At sunset, many of us we cannot think of going back home. We are busy with our work. But then, as I told you, ये तब की बात है. It's like pre-independent India. और तभी maximum people were always busy with their they were into farming. So जैसे ही रात हो जाती थी, जैसे ही शाम हो जाती थी, in fact that was an indication कि they have to come home. Okay, the first stanza, we continue with the explanation of the first stanza. Sitting in the porchway cool. Okay, this is the same first stanza. So here I come with the poetic devices, the figures of speech. See, line 1 and line 2 is inversion. That is, line is not in correct order. Sitting in a porchway cool. Sunlight I see dying fast. Okay, so it actually it should have been I see the sunlight dying fast. It should have been that. Usually we begin a sentence with the subject. Okay, and the subject here is I. But then here, how is it? How is it given? It's given the other way. It's given the other way. Hence, it's inversion. The line is not in correct order. Students, as you can see, मैंने जो main figure of speech है, I have written it in bold letters because remember you have to learn the spelling. Spelling को बहुत ज़्यादा महत्व है. Line 2 and 3, it's personification. Personification is human quality is given. Human quality is given to anything, any inanimate object or any other object. ठीक है तो यहाँ पे personification क्यों है because human quality of dying is given to sunset वैसे ही twilight okay twilight is hasting is speeding up आसमान का जो रंग है वो तेजी से बदल रहा है तो तेजी the speed all this is related to human beings all these are qualities of human beings which are very beautifully expressed in the poem. Well nigh is an old English word meaning night. Okay, it's night time. So nigh, N-I-G-H, nigh is actually students. That's the old English word. So you might feel it's a spelling error, typo error, but no, it's not like that. It's in fact it's an old English word. So this is the end of the first stanza. We move on to the second stanza. In the second stanza, let me just read the four lines. Shadows run. Shadows run. Students, do the shadows actually run? No, it's again personification. Yes, very clear example of personification. Shadows are given human qualities of running. अब ये shadows किसके हैं? Obviously, these shadows are of the birds, of all the people who are going back home. सब तेजी से अपने घर की तरफ भाग रहे हैं, एक्साइटेड है कि चलो आज का दिन बस जितना काम करना था, जैसे कि मैंने कहा, वी ऑल हैव कम टू द एंड ऑफ द डे, बट वन सोअर लिंगर्स स्टिल। सिर्फ एक ही इंसान दिख रहा है और वो है ये किसान। ही इज ओल्ड, ही इज इन रैग्स, फटे हुए कपड़ों में है, बूढ़ा है, ठीक है। ही इज लुकिंग ऑन हिम, लुकिंग एट हिम। ओके, उसे देखते ही कवि जो है वो बहुत ही इंस्पायर हो गए हैं, बहुत ही मतलब एक्साइटेड हो गए कि अरे ये इंसान आखिर कर क्या रहा है। ओके, there's nothing in the land but shadows. The shadows, they are running all over the places. As I told you, the shadows belongs to birds, the people who are all speeding up, excited to reach home. However, among those shadows, the poet sees just one person, and it's the farmer who's farming. He's still farming. He's still sowing. वो अभी भी खेत में बीज बो रहे हैं. Okay, he lingers over there. Lingering is to stay. He's still there. उसे उसे देखकर लगता ही नहीं है कि उसे घर जाने की जल्दी है. मुझे ऐसा लगता नहीं है कि he is in a hurry. He is old, he is in rags, rags are torn clothes. But he's standing there. जैसे कि मैंने कहा, as in there's no hurry. उसे देखकर बाकी सब ऐसे घर की तरफ भाग रहे हैं, पर उन्हें देख के लगता ही नहीं है कि उन्हें घर जाने की कोई जल्दी है. Alright, watching him, the poet feels thrilled. Your thrill means happy, content, excited कि अरे ये इंसान आखिर कर क्या रहा है और कितना मेहनत करेगा. उम्र हो चुकी है. He is quite old. How much more is he going to work? The second stanza, the explanation still continues. We continue with the poetic devices. See, line number 5 is personification. Line 5 to line 8. So 5, 6, 7, 8. So line number 5 is personification, which I already explained that the human quality of running is given to the shadows. Whereas the remaining lines are all inversion. And students also remember the entire poem is a beautiful example of imagery. जैसे हम पोएम्स पढ़ रहे हैं, जैसे हम लाइंस कविता पढ़ रहे हैं, हमारे आंखों के सामने एक बहुत ही क्लियर पिक्चर आ रहा है. फॉर एग्जाम्पल यहाँ पे देखो, look at the seventh line, old in rags. So we can imagine that there's some person who's really very old and he is in torn clothes. Rags मतलब जैसे मैंने कहा फटे हुए कपड़े. Okay, so most of the lines in the poem is a very beautiful example of imagery. Alright, then we move on to the third stanza. We move on to the third stanza. Black and high, silhouette. Silhouette is his frame, his shadow. Okay, dominates the furrows deep. All right, it's his shadow is very dominant over there. कहीं कुछ और दिखे ना दिखे, इनका shadow जो है वो बहुत clearly दिखाई दे रहा है. Okay, now to sow. He's just ready. He's ready to sow. Soon shall come a time to reap. Now these lines, students, they are very clearly reflecting his positivity. ओके, हिज पॉजिटिव, उनके उनकी ज़िंदगी में ही, एज आई टोल्ड यू, ऐसा नहीं है कि हर एक फसल जो है वो अच्छी हुई है. कभी कभी खराब फसल भी हुई है, बट स्टिल ही हैजंट गिवन अप. एक आशा की किरण है, एक उम्मीद है. ही इज लिविंग विथ लॉट ऑफ होप दैट नाउ the seeds that he is going to sow are going to get him really bright uh, crops. Okay, fresh crops. The poet says that the sower's silhouette, the shadow, is dark. Dark, matlab, students, when do we get a dark shadow? All right, when it's like it's the sunset time. So, shadow is dark, keeps growing as the night approaches. All right, it spreads over deep furrows. That is, what are furrows? Students, furrows are gaps. ओके, हल चलाने के बाद जो ऐसे लेन्स बन जाते हैं, जो गैप्स बन जाते हैं, जिसमें एक किसान जो है अपने बीज बोता है. ओके, तो दो दे आर नोन एज फरोज. फरोज आर गैप्स, द पिट्स विच आर रेडी आफ्टर प्लोइंग. ओके, हल चलाने के बाद जो गैप्स बन जाते हैं, जो लेन्स बन जाते हैं, आई रिपीट, जिसमें एक किसान अपने बीज बोता है, दे आर नोन एज फरोज. So it spreads over deep furrows. Furrow is a narrow trench made by a plow. Plow is a हल. एक हल से चलाने के बाद जो गैप्स बनते हैं, they are known as, all right, they are known as the furrows, which are now invisible due to darkness. These furrows are just invisible. It's quite dark. According to the poet, the sower may be thinking it is time to sow the seeds and he is doing it. मतलब सब लोग घर जा चुके हैं, काफी अंधेरा हो चुका है. ओके, उन्होंने जो गैप्स बनाए हैं, हल चलाने के बाद जो लाइंस बनी हैं जहाँ पे उन्हें सीड्स सो करना है, those lines are also just invisible, nothing is seen. Still probably this farmer, he just doesn't want to stop. उसे लगता है कि नहीं, कल जो मैं काम करने वाला हूँ, कल करने से अच्छा है मैं आज करूँगा. ओके, इट्स बेटर इफ आई डू टुमारोज वर्क टुडे. और ये सोचकर ये जो किसान है वो बिल्कुल रुकता नहीं है. उसे कल करने वाला काम, he wants to finish off today, he wants to finish off sowing the seeds right now, and that's what he is doing it. Stanza 3 continues to the next slide as well. Okay, look at him. This is how they sow the seeds. Okay, this is how they do it. Soon the crops will grow. Sower will able to reap the fruits of his hard labor, dedicated work. तो ये किसान जो है एक आशा पे जी रहा है कि आज जो मैं मेहनत करने वाला हूँ, उसके उसके फल मुझे आगे मिलेंगे. और याद रखो स्टूडेंट्स, ही इज सो वेरी सेल्फलेस. वो इतने मतलब ही इज जस्ट सेल्फलेस because he's old. Maybe it might happen that when he actually gets the crops, he might not be alive, he might be dead, but still he does not give up. He does it for others, he does it for his next generation, ताकि उनके जाने के बाद भी उनके बच्चों को वो खेती मिल सके. ओके, this stanza contains a lesson for all of us. और वो सीख क्या है कि one should work hard even when others give up in order to get the expected result. Okay? अगर हमें लगता है कि हमें जो कुछ चाहिए वो हमें अगर चाहिए ज़िंदगी में, then we should not give up. We have to continue with our efforts, with our hard work. Line number 9. Okay, that's personification. That's dominating someone is a human quality. Black and high. His silhouette dominates the furrows deep. So his silhouette, that is his shadow. His shadow is dominating the furrows. Okay, which means it's personification, it's a human quality. Line 10 and 11 is inversion. As I told you, most of the lines are inversion. Students, even here there's imagery, beautiful imagery of his silhouette, of his shadow dominating the furrow. Even that's a beautiful example of imagery. जैसे हम लाइंस पढ़ रहे हैं, हमारे आंखों के सामने एक पिक्चर, एक इमेज, it's getting ready. And line 10 and 11, it's not in correct order and hence it's inversion. Okay. Move on to the next stanza. Marches he along the plain. Again, as a students, can you make out, can you identify the figure of speech? Okay, it's quite simple. It's inversion. It should have been he marches along the plain. Okay, so that's how it is. But yes, so he's marching along. March is to walk. March is to walk. March मतलब मार्च महीना नहीं है. March is to walk. वो एक पर्टिकुलर पैटर्न में वो चलते जा रहे हैं अपने खेत में, टू एंड फ्रो मतलब आगे पीछे, उनके हाथ पाँव जो है वो आगे पीछे ऐसे हिल रहे हैं। और क्यों हिल रहे हैं? बिकॉज ही स्कैटरिंग द सीड्स, जैसे मैंने पहले वाले इमेज में बताया था। ऑलराइट, आई जस्ट गो बैक टू द प्रीवियस स्लाइड, सी हियर, he's just walking, his hands are moving, and he's scattering the seeds everywhere. So that's to and fro, to and fro. Okay, he's scattering it right from his hand, the precious grain. एक किसान के लिए ओके बीज को छोड़कर और क्या महत्वपूर्ण हो सकता है? सो फॉर हिम एवरी ग्रेन इज important and hence he calls it precious, valuable. Muse is think. The writer is, the poet is thinking, okay, and as I see him stride, as I see him stride is walking. Alright. The sower, the farmer, he's marching, that's he's walking to and fro from one end to the other, back to front. Okay, वो move कर रहे हैं, वो walk कर रहे हैं along the plain, that's farm. Okay, he's scattering the grain from his hands in the field. He's scattering all of them in the field. The grains are precious as they will grow into crops and will make the sower prosperous. Alright, the grains are very, very precious to the farmer. Alright, and they will grow into crops and they will make the sower absolutely prosperous. The poet is lost in thoughts after seeing him struggling so much. कवि जो है उनको बुरा भी लग रहा है कि in spite of old age, what is this farmer doing? He's just struggling very hard. But at the same time, he has high respect for that farmer जो इतनी कठिन परिस्थिति में भी he just does not want to give up. So stanza 4 is not yet over. Just move on to the next slide. Okay, the grain is called precious because every grain is important for the farmer. Okay, and your poetic devices is inversion. Lines 13 to 16 are not in correct order. Okay, and the correct order is he marches along the plain. I muse as I see him stride. So line 13 or 16, first line or last line, दोनों inversion है because they are not in correct order. Okay, to and fro can be antithesis because आगे पीछे they are opposite words, to and fro, so that can be antithesis as well if you have guessed it correct. Now we come to the last stanza, the last four lines. Darkness deepens, गहरा अंधेरा हो गया है, fades the light, light is all, it's just faded, the day is over. Now his gestures to mine eyes. Okay, his gestures, the poet is not able to make out, इतना अंधेरा हो गया है कि वो किसान एक्चुअली क्या कर रहा है ये बिल्कुल भी समझ में नहीं आ रहा है. It's very hard to identify what exactly he is doing. Okay, Air August. Okay, Air August. August, I told you, he refers him to a personality who has achieved everything in his field. Highest, he has achieved highest position. Okay, and he seems उनका he's so impressed with his personality, वो इतने ऊपर उठ चुके हैं कि it seems for him, for the poet, he has touched the sky. वो इतने बड़े हो चुके हैं, वो इतने ऊपर उठ चुके हैं अपनी मेहनत करने के बाद, that he just touches the sky. Soon the darkness deepens. Okay, that's the night appears. The daylight पूरा का पूरा खत्म हो चुका है. The poet just cannot see what the farmer is doing. तो आप सोचो कितना अंधेरा है, complete pitch dark. In the final line, the poet says that the height of the sower seems to touch the starry skies. That is, it's so dark that he's just invisible. वो इतने ऊपर उठ चुके हैं कि अब मतलब वहां से वो मतलब नीचे इतना उन्होंने काम कर लिया है अपनी जिंदगी में that he has touched the sky. He's as great. He's got a great personality. That is what the poet wants to tell us. absolutely great personality. This stanza is continuing. Okay, the explanation continues to poetic devices. Okay, line number 17, that's the first line. As you can see, it's antithesis, dark and fading. Okay, dark and light. It's they are antithesis, they are opposite words. Okay, it can also be alliteration. Darkness deepens is also alliteration. But the more dominant figure of speech जो है वो हम एग्जाम में कंसिडर करते हैं, and that's antithesis because darkness and light both are opposites. Line number 20 is hyperbole. Hyperbole is over exaggeration. Okay, इंसान कभी भी आसमान को एक्चुअली छू नहीं सकता, वो बस एक कहने की, it's a way of saying, isn't it? It's just a way of saying. So that's hyperbole. Our height cannot ever reach the sky, but ये कहने से the through the last line, as I told you, the poet just wants to make it clear that he's impressed by the hard work and determination of the farmer. कवि completely प्रभावित हो चुके हैं, completely impressed by the hard work that the farmer is doing. His never give up attitude, नहीं छोड़ना नहीं है, रुकना नहीं है, थमना नहीं है. ओके, बस यही मंत्र है एक किसान के जिंदगी में. Next, now there's something that we need to remember about the poem. Okay, I'm just trying to sum up. The poet respects the sower's hard work. Kavi jo hai, he is just impressed by the hard work the poet is doing. Okay, like his determination, as I told you, not giving up attitude is what impresses the poet. The language used is quite complex. It's not a simple language, it's a difficult language, but it's done to get the rhyming effect. And as I told you, Toru Dutt has done a fantastic job of translation. Okay, the effect जो कवि ओरिजिनल पोएम में लाना चाहते थे, सेम इफेक्ट is there in this translated English poem as well. And we feel, as in we are able to imagine the kind of hard work, the efforts that the farmer is trying to put in his farm, okay, in his life. The poet gives a first person effect of observing the farmer in his field. The poet is giving whatever he has observed, whatever the poet has observed. We can imagine, there is this poet, एक आदमी खड़ा है अपने घर के बाहर और दूर से उसे क्या दिखाई दे रहा है, एक किसान दिखाई दे रहा है. और ये ऐसा समय है when it's evening time, when the light is fading, when everybody is going home, but still this farmer is just continuously working, not ready to give up, not ready to stop. So, it's a first person effect of observing farmer in the field. ये उन्होंने जो देखा है वही उन्होंने पोएम में लिखा है, and that's exactly what Toru Dutt has also translated. Now, the optimistic tone of the poem makes it refreshing and encouraging. जैसे मैंने कहा, this poem has got a very important lesson for us. According to the poem, all right, the poet is telling us कि चाहे जो कुछ हो जाए, no matter what happens, even if others stop, you should not stop. चाहे बाकी सब कोई क्यों ना अपना काम रोक दे, तुम मत रुको. You should not stop. You should you should not stop. You should not give up. In fact, you should just continue with your work. You should just continue with whatever you are doing. The values that one can learn are perseverance, selflessness, and dedication. Perseverance is hard work. Selflessness means दूसरों के लिए सोचना, दूसरों के बारे में सोचना. As I told you, the poet is absolutely, sorry, not the poet, the farmer is old. We never know that he might not live till the next harvest comes. ठीक है, फसल आने तक वो जिंदा रहेंगे या नहीं वो भी नहीं पता, बट वो जो कुछ कर रहे हैं दूसरों के लिए कर रहे हैं. So his hard work, okay, his selflessness, his dedication to his work is something that we all have to learn in our life. The poem is full of descriptive imagery. इतना beautiful एक scene. Every line as we read, deep furrows, okay, old in rags, all those majority of the lines they bring out beautiful imagery. Imagery means मतलब जैसे हम लाइंस पढ़ रहे हैं हमारी आंखों के सामने वैसा वो दृश्य तैयार हो रहा है, दृश्यम है हमारे सामने. ठीक है. The title of the poem represents the central character of the poem. Poem का नाम ही है The Sower. इससे The Farmer. Sower means जो बीज बोता है. The Farmer. The ठीक है किसान. ओके. इससे हमें पता चलता है कि कवि जो है वो कितने ज्यादा इम्प्रेस्ड है. हाउ मच इज ही इम्प्रेस्ड विद the farmer's attitude towards life, towards work, his never give up attitude, his dedication, his selflessness. All right, all these things have just impressed the poet, made an everlasting, left an everlasting imprint on his mind, on his heart, so much so that he has written a poem for the farmer. ओके. वो बहुत ज़्यादा प्रभावित है, वो बहुत ज़्यादा रिस्पेक्ट दे रहे हैं इस फार्मर को, इस किसान को जो सबके सब मतलब इतनी कठिन परिस्थिति में भी वो काम कर रहे हैं. सब रुक गए हैं बट वो अपना काम नहीं रोक रहे हैं. सो इज फोर्स टू थिंक, टू गिव इट अ थॉट, what kind of life the farmer must be living. Okay, so on this note, students, we have come to the end of the poem. I have tried to explain every line of the poem, of all the five stanzas, along with the figure of speech and other important pointers. So, students, I just hope you go through the poem again and again so that you understand the poem completely and absolutely. So till then, you all take care. We will be back very soon with another topic. Till then, you all stay safe. Bye bye. Thank you so much.